Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right. Every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. We're going to get right into it. We got an OKP here, original key player, a lounge boy. He's done the, you know the lounge. You're draped in all the velvet.
Yeah, my God, covered in silk.
Anthony DeVito.
So a man of Dorn, so to speak.
Right, that's right. You are. You live a life of lounge.
Yeah, I'm a lounge man, a leisure man.
I love that about you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to
Thank
the
you,
Luxury
man.
Lounge.
Thank
Great
you.
to have you. What is going on in the world of Anthony DeVito? Usually I do a big intro.
Yeah.
No. We're in the lounge.
Yeah. Let's just kick back.
Kick back.
Yeah. You don't see robes, but we got them on.
We have mental robes.
Mental robes.
Yeah. What is? What do you do? You got a one-man show.
Yeah.
We were talking about the one-man show.
I think I'm done calling it that.
You can't call it a one-man show.
don't
It
think
sounds. It's. You don't match.
No.
You don't have one-man show energy. You have lounge energy.
I have lounge energy, but
Different.
I have lounge energy, but also let's go off the rails energy.
Right.
And
I
that's
don't want to
not-
lounge with a one-man show energy guy.
No, can't.
No, I want to lounge with a lounge energy guy. Lounge energy guy, take the conversation wherever it goes, no judgment.
Totally.
One-man show energy guy, you said what? And they use the word whom?
Yeah. A lot of WHs.
What? Who, where?
Well,
Who, what, where, when, why? And this isn't to say, this isn't
these are
to
great.
besmirch.
Not at all.
Gabe Malika has a one-man show that I promoted the hell out of, and he was suggested by you.
Yeah,
so
I love Gabe.
This isn't. I would hate for someone to take this
No.
conversation and put it on Gabe.
No,
I
this
don't
is
even think
not-
we're talking about Gabe.
No, we're not
he
at all.
could lounge it up.
He can lounge it
People,
up.
you know,
He
there's
can
a
move in the
spectrum.
world.
Yes.
He can be a lounge boy.
He could
You
be
know
a
what I
lounge
mean?
boy. He could be a one-man show man.
And nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
unfortunately, yes.
There's some people that are only one-man show man.
Totally.
Only lounge boys.
Happy to be.
You're a lounge boy.
I'm a lounge boy. I'm stopped at the gates of the one-man show world. Yeah.
Anthony went to Edinburgh and worked out his one-man show, which is what you do there.
Yeah.
It's got to feel like you're with the theater nerds for a month. Like you got to feel like, how did I end up in theater? I'm
Totally.
the jock.
So I felt like an athlete.
Right.
I never felt less athletic in my own body at this age and more of an athlete when I was over there.
Right, because it is artsy fartsy time.
Yes, I've never wanted to just smack screenplays out of people's hands on the
Explain
streets.
Edinburgh to people, because you just
Sure.
spent a month there. If you're listening right
Yeah.
now, you know Anthony at Anthony DeVito _ a tilde. What is the Instagram now?
The semicolon.
The semicolon.
Snapchat.org.
There's an emoji in there somewhere.
/ JavaScript.
It'll be tagged in all my stuff. Everyone go follow Anthony. He's fantastic and hilarious, and you know him, you love him. If you're a fan of the show,
Yeah.
you've been coming on now. I think you've been coming on this show for a decade, which is crazy.
I'm like the Tom Hanks
You
at
are.
SNL.
Yeah, that's how I describe you to people. People are like, "What's with Anthony DeVito?" I'm like, you know SNL. That's how I describe my podcast. And you know Tom Hanks, how he just kind of floats in and out, and he's a part of he's part of the show, but he's not. That's how I describe Anthony. Yeah, that's how I describe you.
I always think with those guys, you're like, if you're that bored, it's like, why doesn't Tom Hanks just go, let me do one season?
Do the whole season.
Just for the credit reel. It's
Right.
just be so funny.
It'd
you know
be
what
funny
I mean?
to just. I guess they don't want to do that amount of work. It's like Tom
Yeah.
Brady right now. Tom
Right.
Brady's like taking Thursdays off.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
He's playing like 2 downs.
I just heard about this. I didn't know. I'm a big Tom Brady fan.
Sure.
I fucking bow at the Tom Brady altar.
course, yeah.
He is right now. I just read that he's not showing up Thursdays.
Yeah.
He's coming in. He just missed Friday practices for Bob Kraft's wedding.
Oh, sure. That's so funny.
And then shows up on Sunday, yells at all the players. Like Tom Brady's whole thing, if I could just explain,
Please.
his whole thing was hardest worker
Yeah.
and best on the team. So if you're the best on the team and you're the hardest worker, everyone else on the team goes, who am I
Right.
to go outside the bounds of Tom Brady? Who am I to say I'm better than the team if the best athlete or the best player on the team
Right.
isn't above the team? Of
course.
Now he's not the best athlete.
Yeah. It's very
He's-
apparent.
It's very apparent.
Yeah.
And he's not the hardest worker.
Right.
And now he's still yelling at him like he's the guy he was.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
And he's doing that thing where, like, you know, you're overcompensating. He knows what little he's doing, so he's yelling so much on the field to the point where you're like, this is football, and I'm like, this is abuse. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Where I'm like, this is too. I just watched a guy try to rip another guy's head off while a stadium applauded that, and I'm like, he's gone too far in his dressing down of the rookies.
Right. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
And I wrote this in a post. Someone asked me, like, they're like, what do you think of Tom Brady and Giselle? And I was like, money, power, fame, success, and penis.
Right.
Horrible mix. Over time, that goes stale. Mm-hmm. For a good amount, listen, it can be good for a minute.
Sure.
It's like mixing Yoo-hoo. It's making a Yoo-hoo. It's making chocolate milk. It's good for like
chocolate drink.
A chocolate drink. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Don't want any law or anybody pressing charges. But penis and success can only be mixed for so long before it congeals and turns into something awful and disgusting.
Right.
I really do believe this.
Yeah, no.
Because I've seen it. You see it in you rarely see successful men handling it well.
Totally.
Deep into life. Like, I really think, like, if I was like, I'm taping a special. Let me take
people know.
Do you mind if I
please come on
take a minute off my own show?
You think a lounge boy minds anything?
Right.
You know
You're Tom Hanks. You get it. I have a special that I'm taping December 8th at Gramercy Theater.
Awesome.
You know the deal. We tape these things. Anthony has a special on YouTube right now, by the way. So
I do.
Let me go from my aside about me to go to the aside about Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony's special is so fantastically funny. He taped it at Acme in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Acme Comedy Club, great comedy club. They haven't had me, but okay. I've heard. Now let me take the aside about you, make it about me. Heard good things, never been invited. Now I'll go back to Anthony.
Next time, I'll bring you to close next time.
I would love that. No, bring me to open. I want to come, and the whole opening will be me going, would be nice to be invited here sometimes, make the whole thing about how they've never booked me.
Just seems like they're all my fans. Right. That's all. Just seems like they all know me. Show of hands. Let's just for fun. Anthony and I are friends.
Yeah. Oh, you all know me, but they never booked me? Okay.
When I say the name Jared Freid, what does that inspire? When I say the name Anthony DeVito,
they all just fart at the same time?
Yeah, they all take out their feathers, and they dust their own genitals. And then when I say the name Anthony DeVito, what does that inspire? And they all boo.
Yeah, get off the stage.
Someone tries to throw a rock through the curtain to hit me like the bullet in Wanted.
This isn't the one-man show I paid for. Where's all the H in the W words? So
there's only but one stool up here. There needs to be 4 stools.
And he needs candles on each one. Yeah. So, okay. Anthony's special. It's on YouTube on his page. Yeah. YouTube.com/Anthony DeVito, I hope.
Oh, no.
Of
course it's not.
You probably added
I've tried to
.org.
shoot myself at every step I could with this thing that I've cobbled together called a career. No. It's YouTube.com.
Okay. Here we go. Get it out. Get it out. You can do it. You can promote yourself. Come on, Anthony. You can promote yourself.
And here's the thing. I'm almost positive it's DeVito Anthony, but
if it's DeVito Anthony, I will laugh for the rest of my life.
But here's the thing.
Crazy.
Well, get ready to cancel all your plans for the rest of your life. It's been DeVito Anthony forever because of the other Anthony DeVito.
Because there's another comedian that's an Anthony DeVito who doesn't like you because of this mix-up.
He does like me.
He likes you, but he doesn't like the mix-up.
He doesn't like the mix-up. He sees
I get that.
The mix-up is separate, and he gets annoyed by it every now and again. I get so excited. That's the way I found out. I actually get very excited because this is the way I found out he's done a really cool thing. Because he's a very good actor, and he appears in things every now and again.
Right. There's Anthony DeVito, the actor, who has done comedy.
Yes.
And there's Anthony DeVito, who's sitting with me, Tom Hanks, who does comedy. And there's nothing people who have done comedy don't like more than someone who's doing comedy.
Of course.
Because it's just the way it's, there's a point where you go, I don't know, you know, some people just go, listen, I'd like to act and I'm pretty good at it. I'm getting work. Yeah. I get that.
I'm getting more out of this than I am that. Not just like financially, but creatively.
Right,
so
exactly.
I completely understand that. And it's also the last thing, you know what I mean? Like you want is like to see your name, your exact name on a bunch of stuff you might have wanted to do. Do you know what I mean?
At some point, even if you don't want to do it anymore.
Even if you don't want to do it anymore, but you see your name on Comedy Central presents Anthony Devito and you're like, I'm not that Anthony Devito. That has to be frustrating.
And then someone goes, oh, what? And you gotta go, no. It's the other. You gotta explain it every time.
And then you gotta go, and he's a nice. You gotta go, and I can't even hate the guy because I met the guy, and he's a nice guy.
The worst part about doing comedy, and again, we're here in the luxury lounge. We're gonna get the emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Keep sending in your lounge questions or your lounge complaints. I'm sorry. Keep sending your complaints. We have some amazing ones. We're gonna get to it. We're here with Anthony DeVito. The hardest part about comedy or doing something different is having to explain out loud things you don't want to have to explain.
Of course.
I think that's with any job.
Yeah, I think so.
Like it's like your mom going, well, what do you do? And you have to explain it to their friends.
Yeah.
I was at a show this weekend.
Yeah.
By this time next week, when this airs,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the clip will be out.
Okay.
I'm on stage at Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
You're going to die. I'm on stage. This is my complaint. Hit the music. We'll get into it.
Jared, he has some problems.
You know, people have been saying they know
Jared,
the song now. Like, it's been going long enough where
issues.
people know these lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is the hardest song to sing along with, though.
Because it's so off key.
Yeah.
And it's off rhythm.
Right,
Yeah,
I take a lot of turns. So if you know the song, like, it is crazy.
You have found a way to take a simple thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a simple song.
Right.
But if you manage to make it off so much, it's impossible to learn.
Right.
That's so funny.
So people have learned it.
Right,
Which is
right.
like, this is the... Like, I'm going
this
up,
is,
I'm going... Yeah, it's crazy.
This is like Wesley Willis. Wasn't that his name? I think he died. You remember him,
Wesley
right?
Snipes?
No, it's not Wesley Snipes. No, there was a guy. He used to be on like Howard Stern all the time. We're going back like 20, 25 years. I think it was Wesley Willis or like Wesley Walters. He's a WW guy.
Okay.
To some capacity. But
WW guy.
yeah, he's like a Wesley Whitman.
Okay.
Wesley Watt. Like he's a WW guy.
It's like a Weight Watchers guy?
I think he was like a heavy guy too.
Okay.
But he used to sing these like very much like that song. These like monotone
Like scatting.
Yeah, but kind of just like I'm going to the bank. Here I am at the bank, like something like that. He was hilarious. He's great.
Yeah.
I think he had some like he had a rotting brain, but like that's a doctor term.
Brains aren't apples.
I was in the medical journal.
Yeah, I
get
get it. Yeah,
but
he was a doctor.
But it was
before
just
he was
it reminded
got
me
the
of
brain rot.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you here. You got brain rot.
Right.
They're like, "Where'd you get your license?" They're like, "I watched House."
Worked at a supermarket, and we just figured apples and brains were very alike.
Put them together.
Okay, so here's my complaint.
Please.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm at Mohegan Sun. I'm doing the show.
Yeah.
I'm on stage. Okay, this guy in the crowd goes, I got a question for you. I'm like, okay.
I didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Sure,
This isn't how this dynamic works at all. He goes, how long ago did you take that headshot? And I look to the left of the stage. To the left of the stage is hanging my headshot, but not my most current headshot. My headshot from when I was 26 years old. Okay? It is next to the stage. So, first of all, performing next to your headshot, embarrassing as it is. That's already embarrassing.
Of course.
As a comedian especially, you take nothing seriously, and a headshot is supposed to be you taking something seriously that you're supposed to be a joke goofball.
Yeah.
Some people's headshots are too goofy. They'll do like them strangling themselves with the microphone cord.
Mic to the head.
Mic to the head. It's all dumb. The headshot is dumb, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
It's also from 11 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So all of us look different than 11 years ago, okay?
Just so drastically different. Not even a couple years. It's like, no, it's like graying hair, bloated face, like bags under the eyes.
I am as I am now. And that picture is also a glossy, when you go to take your headshot, you're as good as you look then.
Yeah.
Not even on your, it's not your worst day at 26. It's your best day. And now I'm.
Not even a real day at 26.
Right. It is a fake day at 26 with Facetune. And now I am
in the
raw, no makeup, Saturday, 6 p.m. face,
casino stage lights blaring down at you, which makes subway lighting look like a ring light.
Absolutely, and also I'm fatter than then.
Of course,
yeah. And I'm like, I look at this guy. I'm like, did you ask this to embarrass me? Because here's what a headshot is. And the club never asked me what headshot they want me to use. They just use the one they've always used.
Of course,
and because we're so comfortable together, I've been going there for years. They go, oh, yeah, it's Jared. Who cares? We'll use the one we've always used.
He might even get a kick out of it.
Yeah, but no one looks at that and goes, oh, the club used the wrong poster.
Right.
When they see a headshot, they look at it and they go, oh, Jared thinks he looks like that still.
Yeah.
That is what they think. Oh, Jared's embarrassed of how he looks now, so he wants to trick us into believing that's how he looks. He is so self-conscious about the look at 37 that he's hanging on to this 26-year-old glossy dream. And now I'm up there and in front of an audience and they're going, me, poster, and they're all going, he's really fallen off. Oh my God, is Jared okay? He's got to stop drinking. Wow, what's he eating? And it turns into this like thing, and I had to like on stage go explain all of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we just all stop being so ready to? Let's stop being so comfortable together.
Yeah.
Stop being so comfortable around me. I'm uncomfortable around everyone I come into contact with. I was at the subway before, and this leads me to like the final complaint of the complaint.
Please.
Is the comfort level people have coming up to you and talking to you.
Of course.
I come up to people, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just want
sheepish.
to, sheepish.
Totally.
I'm like,
bent
please,
over.
I'll suck your dick before we start talking. I go, I'm at the train station waiting to go to Connecticut for the shows.
Yeah.
This guy walks up to me and goes, how's it going? I go, pretty good. He goes, life is good, huh? I go, what? Like, I go, I guess so. He goes, seen you do stand-up a bunch of times.
You're like,
and I go, life is good.
Why did you give me those 2 moments where I went, are you going to try to fuck me? Or are you going to try to rob me?
Do we go way back?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, do I owe you money? What is this?
What's going on?
Why the preamble? You got to tell me that first.
Present what you present your wares.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking at him going, I must have looked at him like he had 7,000 heads. He goes, life is good, huh? I was like, what?
No,
now. It isn't.
Not this moment. It's horrible.
I hate my life because I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And then he goes into, and then here's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
He goes, I used to do a little bit of improv myself. And I go, this is why.
Yeah.
He thinks, it's again.
Let me guess, you didn't open scenes very well.
Right. You didn't really get the surroundings of your scene.
Yeah.
And it's like this idea that because you've done one improv class that we all
we're in this community together.
We get it. Yeah. We're cool.
Totally.
Oh, life is good, huh? No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Anthony, you have a complaint?
No, but I did want. I mean, I do. Yeah, no, I do. But I wanted to go back to the thing. The thing is so funny at Mohegan Sun, and what's so funny is like the first thing. All they know about you is delusion. Do you know what I mean? All they know about Jared Freid is he's a delusional man. And then it's like, I don't know, maybe this is the Thursday show. There's 20 people in the crowd.
Right.
So everything they're telling him, they're like, oh no. Like he's, not only does he think he still looks like that guy, he thinks this is going well.
Right,
He thinks this career
what else does he not
going
get?
Well, yeah.
And I couldn't think more opposite than that.
Of course.
If I was doing the only time, like I would have to be at Mohegan Sun to do the stadium,
right?
To go, I think I'm doing okay.
Totally.
I think maybe.
Yes.
Hopefully this year's okay.
Yeah.
That's how I would feel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be like, I'm the king of comedy. Fuck no. I would be like, okay, this year is okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through.
Yeah.
I can afford mortgage.
Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy, you don't look like that. Now the whole crowd is like, wow, this guy.
How could they believe anything you say beyond that?
Honestly, they should have all stood up and walked the fuck out. They should have been like, who are we watching right now?
But it is, too. I don't know if you're feeling this. Like, I'm being on the road, like, more now, especially, like, I do feel crowds are more empowered. Like, they're not, there's not a moment, like, they always used to be a little, but, like, and I know Mohegan Sun's a different animal.
Right.
But, like, there was, like, always a moment of doubt, it felt like, in their voice. Now, they're right away, like, let me talk to you.
Right.
Let me tell you. Like, it's, and I don't know if it's the clips. I don't know what it is.
I think it's the clips. I think
like,
we've done it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if for those listening, this isn't like a stand-up comedy podcast. We're getting a little deep, but I would say no. We put out these clips to show people, hey, look how funny we are. But the problem is we don't want to burn any material.
Right.
So we don't put out clips that are, you know, our A stuff.
Right.
So what can we do? Oh, let me get me making fun of someone in the crowd with some, you know, where I tripped over a good line.
Right.
You know, it's not even like this is what we do. There's comics we know that are like crowd work guy.
It's interesting, yeah.
And we're just like, hey, let me give you like this kind of version. You know, the comics that have done well with clips are the ones that had like a whole bushel of material that was ready to put out there.
Totally.
And I think a lot of us are behind, so we're like, oh, let me throw out some stuff there.
Right.
And the stuff you're putting out there is like, oh, I'm going to go to this show where people yell at him and he comes back with these amazing, you know, responses.
Right.
And
a great improviser, like the guy on the subway.
But like you look, Ariel Elias was just on this podcast. She had a clip that went like
super
insane.
Viral. Yeah.
And, you know, a heckler threw a beer can at her and that was like full. Like it was like dangerous.
Dense. Like you heard it hit the wall and you're like, no, that might have bruised the wall.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it had a political nature to it. It was a Trump person throwing at a liberal comedian. So it got played up everywhere. And you go, and you know, there's a little piece of that. You're like, you know, that clip goes out and you're like, I hope she's going to shows and it's not that.
Totally. Yeah, of course.
You know, I hope. But some people go, oh, I'm going to go to the comedian that's really good at like off the cuff.
Yeah.
And then you go up and you're like, oh, I have a 45-minute act I'm ready to do. And you're like, I don't want to do off the. I don't want to do.
I don't want to roast my own headshot. I don't want to roast me from 10 years ago. I want to just do the things I find important that I'm going through right now.
I don't want to keep my mic in the stand so I can catch all the cans that are coming at me. Whoa, got
funny.
it. Ha, huh.
That's pretty funny, though.
Right.
That's pretty funny, though. If you're like, keep like a catcher's mitt on a stool, or like a guy you bring up with you who's like, he's the object catcher.
Honestly, maybe she should go in that direction.
Yeah.
At this point, you go, how great would that be if she just was like, okay, so whatever you got to say, I gave out little Nerf balls. I'm going to see how many I can catch while I do political humor.
Make it a game,
Right?
Or you go, I have full bulletproof vest on. Just like 50 Cent. But all right,
before we get to Anthony's complaint, let me just say we're sponsored. The custom framing company FrameBridge will change your opinion of what true customization really is.
I love FrameBridge.
They're going to change how you feel about the word customization.
And this is ambitious.
Right.
I love it.
They measure and handcraft each frame specifically for your piece, so you can FrameBridge just about anything: selfies, game day jerseys, your anniversary dinner menu, or latest artistic masterpiece. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the idea that you, because the whole framing thing, I think the reason we don't frame everything is because it just wasn't accessible. You just go, why would I frame the selfie? Now, like, even if you were like sending a gag gift to a friend or something fun, this lets you be a little more creative.
Yeah.
What would you frame? Maybe there's something that you're like, oh, there's this picture that is like such a dumb picture of my friend and I, and I just think it would be funny if I blew it up and had it so that they could put it on their bathroom wall. If you go in my bathroom, there's 2 frame pictures, okay? And they were frame bridged. One is of Tom Brady, who we just talked about, and the other is of me, a painting that Shelby gave me of me with a charcuterie board.
That's great.
It's a artist rendering. Great. What is more fun than when people walk in the bathroom, they go, what the hell is going on here? So you might have a picture on your phone, a painting, something stupid that you've been just like noodling around, what can I do for the holidays? What can I do for Thanksgiving? What can I do like for like a close friend that I love so much that would
Yao Ming with a boner.
I have no idea.
Just one,
from. I hope people don't fast forward through these commercials because there's someone that got the surprise of the millennia they were like, yeah, what would I post? And like the Yao Ming with a boner. I don't know what made you think of that.
I'll tell you what. We had a picture in college above our toilet. It was Yao Ming. It was, well, a picture we cut out of like Sports Illustrated.
Right.
It was Yao Ming with a very judgmental look. I just thought it was so funny to put above the toilet.
It is very funny to have someone famous judging you while you pee and stare at them.
Yeah. So then in my head, I just thought, well, what's funnier than that? And I was like, Yao Ming with a boner.
You got to heighten.
Yeah.
You're an artist. You get it. So listen, I love FrameBridge just for the fun and ease of it.
Yeah.
Like and also there's all different price points. There's all different, and we're going to give you some free money. Just go to framebridge.com, upload your you can upload the photo. It's so easy. Or they'll send you a packaging to safely mail any physical pieces. Preview your item online in dozens of frame styles and gallery wall layouts. Your finished piece comes ready to hang. Prices start at just $39 and all shipping is free. I mean, as far as let's call it, they always say $39.99. It's $39 to
nothing.
Have your friend open up a piece and go,
awesome.
Yao Ming with a boner.
How did you know? No, FrameBridge rules because
it's great.
Framing is expensive. It's annoying to do. If it can be done for you for only $40, that's huge, and it elevates whatever it is.
Elevates. I love that word. Order online at framebridge.com or stop by a FrameBridge store near you to work with a designer in person. There's one near here, actually. Frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift today at framebridge.com. That's framebridge.com, framebridge.com. Okay, Anthony, hit the music. Let's get to Anthony's complaint.
It's the guest's turn to complain.
I hope people watch
They're
on YouTube.
Ready
we have
to
some
jump in.
during the song.
Yeah.
I think it's some of the most fun.
Yeah, like little like jazzy
points.
kind of bobs and stuff. Yeah, right. Or like it's a nice break in the action, and it's also like really taking in the music.
Exactly. YouTube.com/JaredFreid. Every episode.
Yeah,
I'm putting it on YouTube.
It's great, man. I love the backdrop.
Listen. Isn't it cool? People don't know this is my bedroom that you're walking into.
I don't think people realize that with a lot of podcast studios. Right. They're like, you're like, if I do this, I'm in the fridge. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't like Hollywood. It's like Jared's underwear is like right there.
Right. I put the underwear as close to the guest as possible. I want let them know. Yeah. So what's your complaint, Anthony?
Oh, okay. So my complaint is about the Great British Bake Off. It's a new season.
Oh, okay. I hope they're not listening. This is so I know the Great British Bake Off just by I've tuned in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a fan. I wouldn't call myself someone who hates it.
Sure.
I think it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's not. I guess I like a little bit of like garbage in my garbage.
Yeah, I understand.
This is a high-end show.
Yeah.
The way they present it is like everyone's an expert, everyone's British, everyone's like put together.
Yeah.
How would you describe the show?
So I mean because we both have, I think you probably more than I do, but like I guess like an understanding or a working knowledge of like shitty reality television.
Sure.
Like Julia is the biggest fan in the world. I've attached myself to some of her shows. Like them also.
Also, I think you and I look at these reality. Some people have no ability to watch a reality show and like watch it from 60,000 feet.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I love when people do weird shit on reality show that is somewhat human.
Right.
Because I'm not saying reality shows are real TV. Like that is. I compare The Bachelor. Whenever someone's like, "How do you like?" You can see when someone's affected by The Bachelor. Some people can't do it. They go, well, they act as if, they're not really falling in love. And
it's like pro wrestling, where you're like,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I always say it's the same as pro wrestling because I know it's fake. But you have to jump off the top rope.
Right.
You can't fake falling onto the mat. You can't fake getting hit by a chair. You can't fake going for a first kiss, dumping someone, having an argument, the small moments.
Or like a Boeing plane crashes and there's a bunch of people that die.
What?
I thought, I jumped off the ledge here and I was not caught. That's fun. That was very fun. I'll tell you why I said that. I think I even have it wrong.
That was different than Yao Ming's boner.
No. There's this like big scandal. I think in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, I don't know this.
Okay, all right. This girl, her husband, I think he You remember there was like all those like the Boeings, they all crashed?
I don't. There's the one that disappeared.
There's a Malaysian plane that disappeared, and I thought it was this for a while too.
Okay, so no.
There was a series of plane crashes, right?
Okay.
So this girl's husband he was like the lawyer representing the families.
I got you.
He took all the money.
Oh, so he stole money from the families that were suing Boeing.
Yeah.
I got you.
And he was supposed to be their lawyer representing them. So, there's this big thing within the world of it that's like, did she know or did she not know? And
I got you.
So that's why I said that as if like, oh, you know this. And then you didn't. And then I was like, well, this is the scariest moment of my life.
Now I get the reference. You're basically saying like these real things happen.
Yeah.
So like there was an actual Boeing plane crash. There was an actual stealing of money.
Yes.
The argument whether these women care or not about this woman who knew or not knew doesn't matter. The argument
that
stands.
Happens. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
People are either still on this podcast and loving this episode, or they have left so long ago that this conversation is like wild. Yeah,
they've either seen my name and gone, "I'll skip that one," or I'm in. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I mean?
Yeah. We're way past the no return.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the British Bake Off. So the British Bake Off, it's like it's not your typical cutthroat reality show,
right?
They
care about each other.
They're like the hosts are like the hosts are they're critical of the baking, but like none of the bakers are experts. They do this in their off time.
Okay, so there's a kid's glove element them going, listen, you just being here is a win in itself.
Yes, exactly. And they're in this tent. They're away from their families. They're away from their job. They're in this tent behind a castle for like a month or two. They just have to be in this competition. They have to move
so
there.
So they all live in a house. Real world style.
Real world style, but you don't see any of that.
Okay.
You just see the baking. They just want to focus on the baking.
Okay.
But like the show...
So it seems a little weird that they would have them live in the house.
It is a little weird. And it is a little weird that they don't tackle that aspect of it.
And if you guys fuck, go ahead. Whatever. Have a sleepover. I'd be like, I want to go home.
Also, it's like not your typical reality show. I mean, I guess Survivor's kind of like this, where you have like a 90-year-old and a 20-year-old. Right. But like that, those are the dynamics.
Rudy.
Yeah. It's always like,
Isn't it crazy that I remember Rudy from Survivor?
Yeah.
I watched that show 30 years ago. I'm still like, Rudy.
So impactful.
So impactful.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So you have this house, and it's like a woman named Patricia and somebody else who their name is just a screen name.
Right.
And they're living together, but we never see that, which is kind of weird.
So old Patricia and ampersand.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, okay. Right. Live in a house together.
Guy who's just a brand.
Right.
He's just a website. So they're all living together. But, the show's on, it's like, probably like 10 season, whatever it is. And it's so popular that like it used to be the people that would come on the show. And I think this is very telling of like how much we regard celebrity or like we want these things more than our own lives, no matter how good they are. So like it used to be like the people that were on the show, they would be like, oh, she's retired, or he's like, he does this on the side, but he can do this for a month. It's not a big deal. One of the people on the show for this season is an epidemiologist, which makes me laugh so hard that like they stopped their cancer research for a month to just bake. Right. Like they have to come back and be like, where are we on cancer?
We'll take our time on cancer.
I had royal icing that needed to be done correctly. It's so funny to me.
That is wild.
Right?
And nobody says anything to them. No one's like, hey, how we doing on cancer?
Yeah. You are
also, we just came away from, or
of course,
certain places maybe still in some form of an epidemiologist might come in handy.
Cancer seems like a bigger problem than yeast.
Right.
That's just, I don't know. Seems like more people die of ovarian cancer than they do of the soggy bottom bread.
Let's go to the complaints. You ready?
I'm ready.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening right now, it is a Thursday. I'm on the road. If you want to come to a show, jaredfreid.com. I got Richmond. I got Boston. I got Miami, Virginia Beach. We're adding dates all the time. But most importantly, New York. I'm taping the special. It's happening. It's happening December 8th. Oh,
it's exciting.
We got way off topic. I think I was trying to say, go watch Anthony's special. We put our money into it to try and make this special. And, obviously I hope it sells to big, huge Netflix, Amazon, Peacock, and NBC, whatever. But you're going to see it at some point. So if you want to come to the show, come. Let's do the Luxury Lounge. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Luxury Lounge. Stop going to the fucking bank.
Love an aggressive opening.
Right, me too. Jared, thanks for everything you do. Your work is truly amazing. Always look forward to all your podcasts, and I can't wait to see you live again. Well, thank you. I have a complaint about my job. I work at a bank, and every single day, without a doubt, customers show up.
Wow.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. The days keep coming.
I hope there's a comma.
What the fuck? Right, what the fuck? It's 2022. Do your banking online. Some people even go in multiple times a week. I understand that if people didn't go in, I wouldn't have a job that pays me well, gives me paid holidays and paid vacation, but I still think there's no point into going to a bank. There's absolutely nothing you can't do online when it comes to your banking needs. Why do people insist on going in? Sincerely, the Angry Banker. What do you think?
I'm all in, and I'm going to go A to E on this one.
Please.
By allowing people to come into the bank, you're allowing antiquated ways to live in our world.
Right. You are a crutch for the people who don't need the crutch.
Right. So
right. You've allowed for society to slow down for our weakest participants.
Yeah, well, that is going to make a lot more sense than what I was going to say.
What would you say? Yao Ming's dick?
No. What if I find a way to get there every time? I'm just trying
to God. I hope to God. That's the name of this episode.
No,
Yao
what you
Ming's
said is
boner.
a much more reasonable thing. Right. It makes a lot more sense.
No, but you're not even, because you only change when you have to change.
Right.
And let me just say this before you get into it.
Yeah.
I like going to the bank.
Yeah, I
go to the bank because here's the thing. My dad is even like, no, you can take a picture of it. You don't even you can deposit it right here. I need to know that this has been given over.
Yeah.
And I know that at some point, if they remove, and what you're saying is right.
Yeah.
If they remove the possibility of going to the bank, I would get over it.
Right.
I would be taking a picture, it would deposit on. Like, to me, even... What do I do with the check once I've done that? Like, I rip it up?
Yeah.
It would feel weird. It would be like ripping up money to me.
Right.
So I do go to the bank, and I even go to the teller sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
I go to the teller, and here's the other thing. I like the interaction with the teller.
Me too.
I like waiting in line.
Yep.
And you go, Jared, why is everyone... I could say to the reason we're all unhappy, the reason that we're all on amphetamines, the reason we're all just dying in a heroin-soaked abyss is because we've taken away these small moments, these to-dos that we used to have to keep. What do they say? Idle hands is the devil's plaything, right? Isn't
not
that
plaything?
No,
you had it.
Idle hands is Yao Ming's boner.
It's playground. Plaything just takes it in such a different direction, and then
idle hands turns him into the devil's plaything. Yeah.
You had it so confidently.
I was so ready.
It fell so far.
I had to nail the ending. I couldn't do it without nailing the ending. Right?
It was so funny, man. but yeah, and I'll say that. And yes, I agree with you. I'm going to say one thing that's off topic about the Adderall shortage.
Sure.
Just about
this is happening.
Yeah, this is happening, and it's like, oh, there's a shortage on Adderall. It's like, well, it seems like we have enough meth. So it's like, I think we'll be okay. Do you know what I mean?
Well, then you go. I saw the Adderall shortage thing, and the message was pretty vague. Like, it seems like you guys, there's a point where you go, are they fucking with millennials? Like, do they hate our generation? Because the millennial generation, first of all, I hate to be the boomer guy, to call them boomers.
Have a boomer moment. You should have a song that's like Jared's boomer moment.
Well, I'm not the boomer. I hate to be the millennial who's mad at boomers.
I see.
But the economy is where the economy is because they've been printing money like crazy for literally 20 years.
Of course.
They've been printing money at a rate that is kind of crazy.
Right.
The reason they print money is to see the stock market go up. The people that have been in power have the people been the generation in that boomer generation. So the boomers are comforted by seeing the stock market go up and up and up. That's the one thing. They turn on the TV every day. They go, stock market's up. I'm doing fine.
Right.
They've done this for 30 years. Your parents have been doing this forever. Your whole life, they go, did you see the market today?
Not my parents.
Well,
but I get what you're saying.
From the grave has done that.
My dad in the grave. My mom, who's stock market might as well be Greek hieroglyphs.
But even people that don't work on the market, they go, it was up today. It was down today. You hear that from people older than you. So their generation is comforted by up market, discomforted by down market.
Right.
So when it was down, the people in charge, their generation, were like, print the money. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
We got the printers right here. Let's just fucking make it. And now we're in a position where this shit was gonna come to fucking pass at some point. And
Right.
listen, I'm not a I don't know. I
don't know.
I
Man.
know.
You sound a lot like Lou Dobbs. Dude.
Listen,
you sound pretty educated.
I'm Jared Dobbs. Okay, I have a little knowledge on this, but not a lot. But I also have people I trust that I talk to about this, that I ask a lot of questions, and they've been, and then now this generation goes, and then they start to look at you going, "It's the president," and you're like. You've been in every president has been your age,
right,
and has done the same monetary policy of printing money. So what the fuck is going on right now? So the idea that you're looking at, and then they look at us, they go, and then the millennials go, well, you know, we've had two huge depression-like dips in the economy. We've had the .com, we had the 07, now they say another one's coming. So you go, and then in our lifetimes, in our working lifetimes, which is an even bigger deal.
Sure.
The time that you're supposed to make the most money, the time that you're supposed to make so much that you can live off of it later in life, you've had these huge spikes in the economy where people have been fired, all this stuff, and then they look at you and they go, "You're complaining, millennials complaining again." And you go, "I don't want to be a part of a cliche, but I there's a point." And then they go, "Hey." When you're growing up, they go, "Here's some Adderall so you'll calm down." And then the other day, they're like, "We're out of Adderall," and you go. Then you go, "Well, what's the solution?" They go, "Try and find other means." And you go, "What?"
Yeah, meth. That's the only answer.
But then you go, "Wow." You know, you got us on the drug.
Right.
You know, like, you got us on the drug of up markets. You got us on the drug of Adderall. And then every answer is like, "Oh, why are you complaining?" You go, "Well, you brought us here."
Yeah, you got us hooked, took the thing away, and now we need it because we got to do 100 things.
"Oh, millennial can't get the Adderall." And you go, "I've been on it for 30 years.
Right. At this,
You popped me full of them so you didn't have to listen to me cry. So I calmed down a bit. And then, so I don't know.
But anyway, the bank thing.
Yeah, the bank thing.
But that was great. That was an impassioned, great speech.
Did it make sense?
I think so.
Here's
the thing. I don't know enough that it wouldn't make sense.
Right. And well, that's the
problem.
problem.
To me, you sounded like an economic genius.
Anyone who speaks confidently on anything, I believe them.
Yeah. I mean, you just did it there.
I mean, that's why.
When I forget, Jared has his degree in economics.
Yeah, but to me, I was like,
I don't even know if you do. I just made that up.
I did, but it was wasn't a higher degree. Someone listening is like, Jared is talking out of his ass.
Yeah,
big
the
time
bank guy right now is so mad. He works in a bank. He was like, I just wanted my thing answered in a funny way. Jared went off on his hackneyed idea about the economic situation of our country.
Here's the thing.
Because Anthony said a dumb thing.
Right, but I agree with the bank teller. They're like, this is... We do this in all aspects.
Yeah.
Well, what about there's no banker to take my money? It's like, well, here's the other option. And I'm the person going, I don't want to do it.
No.
And then now, but I also will say to the person in the bank, I'm like, what would you do if no one showed up?
Right.
Side of the road, sucking dick for Adderall.
No, it's great, man, because the other day... I don't know, I just like flew by that. That's crazy.
Sucking Yao Ming's dick for Adderall. That's what you'd be doing. Let's go to the next one. Undo button on the elevator.
Oh, fun.
Jared, elevator buttons. I hate when you accidentally press the wrong elevator button and are forced to stop at that floor. It's usually when you're the only one on the elevator and you're already running late. Even worse, if you press the down button instead of the up. In my building's only elevator, you get in and can't even choose a higher floor. You then have to wait till the doors close, then open again, then you can go up. You should just be able to press the button again to undo it. Easy solution. Thanks for a place to vent. I totally agree with this complaint.
First of all, I agree. Well, second, whatever. Doesn't matter the order. I thought he was talking about unbuttoning your pants on the elevator. So this went a direction I didn't see going, and it took me halfway through.
I can't believe they make me keep my cock in my pants in the elevator. Am I right, Jared?
And I
went,
I don't think I've ever seen this problem, and I went, I know this problem. He goes, unbuttoning on the elevator. I go, yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, I should be able to be unbuttoning my pants as I'm going in my apartment. I don't want any dead time. I want to be able to have the pants unbuttoned before I go in, and then I can get out of my pants and into my sweats.
That took me halfway through your thing, the speech, to listen because I couldn't believe it pivoted to not the problem that was in my head.
That's not a problem.
I mean, it's a problem. If you're unbuttoning your pants on the elevator, that's a problem.
Yeah, well, that's a problem.
That's what I mean.
Not being able to is not a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, sure. I could see both sides. But yeah, in the world,
consider the other side.
Here's the thing: in the world we live in, that's a problem because what heinous men have done with their instruments in public. But in reality, I don't see it. If that never happened, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If someone unbuttoned just a button in the elevator, just to feel more relaxed, because sometimes you get nervous in an elevator.
If I was in the elevator and
please.
someone unbuttoned their top button,
Just
they
the top button.
I would go, they had a huge meal. Good for them.
Great.
Yeah,
for them.
I wouldn't think, but
No.
I'm also a man.
Yeah,
I can see how
true. Sure.
there's a female out there going, like
this never leads to anywhere good.
Right. I don't think there's any woman on earth who sees a man unbutton their top button and their first thought is, he just had a big meal. Guy must have had a lot of carbs at dinner. Yeah.
They're like, I'm trapped.
Right.
I'm
trying to climb out the ceiling of the elevator like they're fucking Bruce Willis.
So wait, what was the actual complaint?
The complaint was you press the button and then if you press the wrong floor,
That
you
is
can't
annoying.
unpress it.
That's true.
Well, it's true. Here's the thing.
There should be a whoopsie button.
There should be a whoopsie button.
Yeah.
You should be able to. Here's what the button should. I thought click it 4 times, it unclicks it. But you're right.
Oh, that's good too.
But the other workaround is click it once and then on the corner right next to door open, door closed.
People make mistakes.
Whoopsie, clear.
Yes.
I want to clear, like on the calculator.
Yes.
It should have the buttons like the clear button.
Great idea.
Get you out of there and then you can go 1, oops, clear.
Yeah.
4, now we're good.
Yep.
It has to be a safety thing. Do you think, why doesn't this exist is really my question.
Yeah. Also, too, just thinking about, like, we just mentioned women. Like, women, if they wanted to take a guy back, right? And they're like, we're going to 7, he's coming back to my place. But then between 0 and 7, he just says something dumb.
He starts unbuttoning his pants.
He starts unbuttoning his pants. You go, whoopsie.
Oh, whoopsie. Let me hit that clear button.
Hit that clear button.
Gonna take you back to 1. Time for you to go, Mr. Unbutton. Yeah, there you go. It all comes together. JTrain podcast at gmail.com.
If that man is Yao Ming,
JTrain podcast.
you can barely fit in the elevator.
Someone skipped past the ad that we did, and they have no idea what this Yao Ming thing is all about.
Right,
and
right,
that
right.
is very funny to me because
that's
I'm
great.
a podcast listener. I hear that fucking ad, I'm like, oh, fuck it. I don't need
Double
it.
speed.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
So if you're listening right now and you're like, why do they keep talking about Yao Ming? Go back to the ad.
Yeah.
Go, because I
missed
want
a
you to
good
be
one.
in on this too,
And
right?
it feels normal, and then it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Right.
This is the other thing about double speed. This is off topic as well.
Double
But
speed on the
there's-
podcast.
Double speed. No, yeah, like, because you listen to a lot of sports podcasts too.
I never listen. I always listen on the regular speed. I can't understand
Same.
how anyone does that.
It's crazy to me.
Right.
But I think it's so funny that on the sports podcast, because of all the sports gambling now that they have, but they have to put in this warning.
Right.
But they double speed the warning every time, and you're like, it's so mean. It seems so mean. Do you know what I
they've
mean?
been doing that for years with medication commercials.
Oh,
right. That's why we didn't know the Adderall would be so addictive.
right. It's like the most important part.
Right.
They go.
Stop in Iowa. Like IndianaStop.com. Like they have that phone number. I hear stop all the time. Yeah, I hear these ads. It's crazy. But we get sponsored from time to time from some of these gambling places, and it's like you put them in the show notes,
Right.
so that we don't have to read them quickly here. So they usually go in the show.
Right.
I think the show notes. See show notes for where you can call for addiction at the regular speed.
Yeah.
When someone tells me they listen at double speed to podcasts, I get annoyed at them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
What are you in a rush for?
What? Yeah.
You're going to get this in? This is supposed to be a fucking luxury. It's supposed to be like a relaxing thing.
Yeah, it's not a chore.
Right.
This is like a release.
Right.
Like there's nobody, unless you're like a researcher.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like, why would you ever listen
Speed reading a textbook
Right.
makes sense. Speed reading just like a pleasure book.
enjoyable thing? Who would
wrong with
ever
you?
listen to this to be like, I got to get my news?
People say it to me all the time. They're like, oh, I love it. Your voice sounds different at regular speed. I'm like, where do you have to be?
Yeah.
You got somewhere to do? JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Luxury Lounge, white glove delivery service. Okay.
Oh, I like.
Here we go.
That's very intriguing.
Jared, all the feathers. I listen to you up and JTrain religiously. You're the best. I brought my friends to your show in Richmond last summer for my birthday, and I'm planning to come see you when you're back this fall. Thank you. Love you. This will actually be coming out before the Richmond weekend. I'm going to be in Richmond this weekend.
Man.
I'll get to my complaint. I searched for months trying to find a dining room table for my new house. I finally found the perfect table online at Macy's, plus it was on huge sale. A win-win. We moved in May, and of course the table delivery kept getting delayed, which was honestly fine because we weren't in a huge rush for the table anyways. We paid for white glove delivery service because I am a new mom and don't have time to assemble an 8-person dining table. When the table finally got delivered in August, the delivery guy pointed out damage on one of the corners of the table. He said I had to call Macy's customer service and schedule time for someone to come inspect it. That already annoys me.
Yeah.
Of course I do this, and the only available time for the guy to come and inspect the table is 3 weeks out from delivery. I asked if I could just take a picture or a video of the damage and send it to them, but no, they were adamant that he had to come look at it. I guess the fear is that you could send a picture of a different table and get sent money that you would. But honestly, like I'm like, put today's newspaper next to it. Like I don't know. Like we have the technology.
Yeah, there's a way to do that.
The guy finally came yesterday and was in and out of my house in less than 60 seconds. All he did was take 2 pictures of the damage on his phone. Now he said to wait for Macy's to contact me about a replacement, but couldn't get any insight onto what we could expect, when we could expect a new table. This truly seems like the least efficient process. It does.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought you'd appreciate this laughable customer service experience. Thanks for all the laughs. What do you think?
Well, this is why you don't go to a high-end place like Macy's.
Right.
This is why you only use Wayfair.
That's right.
Because they know whatever they're doing behind the scenes is so bad, they let you just keep whatever.
Right. Keep it. We'll send another one.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They didn't even. I had a table. I didn't even take a picture. It was nothing. I went, look, man. The thing doesn't. I've tried to.
Table doesn't table.
I've tried to put it together a couple of times. This table doesn't table. They go, fine. We're gonna send you another one. We'll refund you the whole thing. And I went, do you need anything else? I went, nope. And I went, what are you doing in your factories? That like this is, you know what I mean?
The guy just picks up a payphone in an alley. Hey, Wayfair. And you're like, am I talking to the right person? He's like, yeah, no, we'll send you something. And he's here's some bum in the background, like, what the fuck are you? You're like, oh yeah. Hangs up.
Yeah. So buy from a place like Amazon or Wayfair. Buy from a place that has a horrible reputation with labor practices.
Get the best thing from the worst place.
From the worst place, because they're trying to make up for whatever shit things they're doing behind the scenes. So they have the best customer service because they don't want you to look too much into their books.
Totally. So this is a great point. This is a great piece of advice. I also, just on a kind of a different tangent.
I'm sure.
I hate that they call it white glove service.
I know.
That makes me think a guy in a tuxedo, like Alfred, is coming over, bringing it, dusting it off for you. It's like, it's never that.
Yeah.
It's always
the storage cubes you've all like. It's like what are you possibly ordering that makes sense for that kind of service?
Right. And it's like, and what it does is it sets up expectations to be too large.
Of course.
Like it should be just like, we're gonna try.
Yeah,
we deliver this shit
because this
is gonna be a year process. Like if they just said that right out the bat, you'd be like, okay, Like the idea that you order a table and it takes a year.
That's insane.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Anthony Devito at Anthony Devito _ a tilde emoji ampersand. Luxury Lounge. Odd number of appetizers.
Ooh.
Jared, feather. Lately, every time I go out to eat with friends, we'll order a few shared apps, but the item number per plate is always off in relation to our group size. If there are 2 of us, we're given 3 croquettes. If there are 3 of us, there are 4 pieces of bread to share the spinach and artichoke dip. If there are 4 of us, they give us 5 bruschetta on the plate, and so on. It always feels like the appetizer quantity is not proportionate to the partner quantity. I would love it if restaurants would offer shared apps based on table size and charge accordingly. Food for thought. Thanks for all the laughs. What do you think? I agree.
I agree. But the other thing is, like, working in a kitchen's a shit job. So, like, whatever fun you can have it. Do you know what I mean? You see a table of 5, give them 4.
Right.
Watch them sweat it out.
So this,
be the Joker.
So you
give them 2 sticks.
To you, this is the Squid Game. You,
a little bit.
These people get very little enjoyment in their lives. They have to work a job that really is thankless.
It burns all over their hands. Take power where you can get it.
Right. This is, and you just imagine this happening. 3 women out to brunch, and it's 1 pancake, and there's one guy in the kitchen just peering through, and you are warmed by the knowledge that guy, fully erect, just staring, that these three women have to hack up a pancake that they can't talk about. No one's mentioned.
You can't mention it. Yeah, because there is this weird social contract with food. Because I think like weight and hunger is involved. You know what I mean? Because there's like an animalness to wanting that piece, and there's a selfishness to it.
Right.
So no one can say anything.
When I see it's
what
odd
pleasure.
numbers on the,
I'm getting hard thinking about it.
Right. I've never worked in the service industry.
I'm gonna try everywhere.
I feel like Yao Ming. If I've never worked in the service industry, so I'm on a table of women's side.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm against.
I haven't either.
Service worker.
My friends are all poor.
Yeah, listen. This is the have not episode. So, as a person of the table, as a non-kitchen slob,
as a have,
as a have, I really feel for them, and I feel for them in a way that I can't even describe. A tear almost came down my cheek hearing about the croquette disaster of 2021. I was so upset for them. It's funny how this is why the luxury lounge is so important.
Yeah.
You saw this as you were warmed by their indecision, their discomfort, their lack of emotional ability to have this discussion of who should get the extra croquette. My feeling,
it's the show Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, you were pumped. These women are about to
Lord
eat
of the
each
Flies
other.
at Sir, or whatever a restaurant's called.
Right. I was sitting there going, oh, these people have it tough. This is horrible. I've been at that restaurant. And you know what? Every table needs a leader. I'm always the one. If there's 3 and there's 4, how are we going to whack this up? Like I'm there with the knife, ready to make it even.
How do you make it even?
Well, if it's like, let's say it's egg rolls, spring rolls. You got a spring roll thing.
Sure. 3
spring rolls, 2 people.
Got it.
I'm cutting the one down the middle.
Okay.
The center one, I'm cutting the baby in half.
Cutting it vertically.
Yeah, no, come on. Obviously not a half. Obviously you don't get this. This isn't your people.
That would be so funny though if you went, don't worry, I got it. I'll cut it in half, and then you cut it vertically.
Everyone at the table's like, what the fuck just happened? We're having an open face egg roll? What's going on here? Right. Yeah. It would be such indecision. We went from discomfort to like massive discomfort for a totally different reason.
Worried about you.
Right. Is this how he cuts things? Is that what he thinks is the move?
Why would that be his first instinct?
Right. What the fuck is wrong with Jared?
At home. Yeah.
He must think he looks like his headshot. Delusional. Also, why don't restaurants let you order a la carte? It should say,
of course.
It should say per piece. They could charge more. Mm-hmm. We would happily pay more.
Yeah.
Or less.
Yeah.
You know, but I think more people are more intention to over order than under order.
Yeah.
If you were like, it's $1 an egg roll, and you went, what do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have a table of 10, 20 egg rolls.
For sure. Totally.
We would do that. Everyone gets 2.
I think
and then
works.
It would work for me at the table because I know everyone ain't eating 2.
Yeah. So
now I'm getting extra rolls.
Getting extra rolls.
Yeah. This works for everybody.
It works for everybody. But that moment, and I'll go back to arguing for this moment.
Sure.
You learn a lot about a person in that moment. You know, you learn what they're willing to do. You know.
In what moment?
In the moment when there's like 3 people and 2 egg rolls.
Right. Who's willing to take a step back?
Yeah.
Who is the pussy?
Right.
Who will take a step back?
Yeah.
Who is easily taken advantage of? And who are the winners?
Yeah.
That take all they want. It is a good sociological study.
Sure.
Who takes what? And
that's what I want with my meal. I want a
I want to know
psychological
who I can fuck
experiment. I don't want just I don't just want a pleasant evening.
No, I want to know who doesn't have the confidence to take one more rice ball.
Our plane crashes. Who's going to eat me?
Right. I get ahead of it. I'm always ahead of it. I'm always the one like, who wants it?
Yeah.
I am also. I'm a big like. If I see a last wing, last wing is yours, Anthony.
I love that.
Take it.
I'm
always pushing.
I think that's great.
I do it for me too because I know I don't need the last wing, so I go.
Yeah.
And I always say, last wing is yours, Anthony.
I think that's great, and I think it's good when you're going into a meal to assign roles.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I always give the wing to the person who I think needs it the most.
Right. You go
mentally.
Who's going to be meal leader for tonight?
I'm always willing to take that lead.
You go, I'll be meal leader, and I'm saying if whatever comes out, you're doing the worst, you get last wing.
That should be an actual position at every restaurant.
Yeah.
Meal leader.
Meal leader.
Person that takes care of the ordering. If you have a table larger than 4 people.
It's a little bit higher. The chair's a little bit higher than everybody else.
Yes, it's a throne seat.
Couple inches higher.
Couple inches higher.
And
so that the waiter knows who to go to.
Yes.
We have fixed the discomfort of restaurants here in the luxury lounge. Yeah. Higher seat.
Yep.
They do the ordering. Mm-hmm. They do the bill paying. Huge. They're figuring that all out. It just makes the process move along. When there's extra pieces of appetizer, they're delivering. They're a benevolent dictator.
Yep. They're on the restaurant side almost. You know what I mean?
They're the bridge between restaurant and have.
Wow. And maybe their meal is like a couple dollars shorter.
Right.
Because they're kind of where like the waiter ends and the patron begins.
Right.
You know?
They're doing a job.
Yeah, they're doing kind of a job.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We got time for one more, Shelby? One more. This actually is on the same topic.
Great.
This is a crazy.
This is a juicy one for us.
This is very juicy.
Yeah.
Luxury lounge, 14-person booth. Can you imagine being sat at a 14-person booth?
What?
And here's King Arthur's booth.
Yeah, here's the cast of Kinky Boots. Like, that's insane. 14-person booth.
How do you get out of there to go to the bathroom?
Now you're peeing.
Right.
You gotta.
Every time you get up, you gotta do like you're in Broadway. Feather. I went to a 14-person family and friends dinner, and we were seated at this 14-person booth, no chairs. Do we have a picture of it? They sent an attachment.
No, give it a toss.
Okay, the booth is weirder than I anticipated. It is actually a round table. I thought it was going to be like kind of a bench seating.
Yeah, that's how I thought.
This is a round table. It does look like you're at the Justice League.
Oh, yeah,
Can you imagine being that center spot?
This is like the UN.
Yeah, this is crazy.
That's nuts, man.
You have to literally look at each other and go, okay, who here has the biggest bladder? Who here doesn't pee? You would have to discuss. Shelby, this is crazy.
Middle seats get no water.
No water. You got to everyone has to touch your things to pass it around.
Oh, that whole
I was
thing.
seated fourth in from the right.
Crazy. I'm in quadrant 3.
Right. Had to awkwardly scoot out of the booth 3 times because people who, of course, was seated right in the middle had to go to the bathroom.
Of course, man.
Then me and the other people who had to scoot out were just standing in the middle of the restaurant waiting for the booth person to come back. P.S. I realized there's no good, attractive way to scoot out of a booth. There isn't.
There really isn't.
Scooting out of a booth is unattractive. I think this happens at the Comedy Cellar sometimes.
Yeah.
The Comedy Cellar has a booth in the center of the showroom, and if someone at the back of the booth wants to come out to go to the bathroom, everyone has to get out for them to be released to the bathroom, and then everyone goes back in, and then they have to get out again to let the person go in, and it's in the middle of the showroom. So, like, I've been up there hosting, and you just have, like, people milling around in the middle of the room like it's a bus station.
Right.
You're like, what is going on? Yeah. And there's alcohol and there's like things going on, and it's like they're not at fault, but like if you're not like on it as a human, which most people aren't, they're just like, I guess we'll just stand here until they get back from taking a shit. You know, like
right. And it always happens during like the moment in your set where you're like, I'm not saying slavery's right. You know what I mean? And it's like that moment where all of a sudden it stops being a show.
Right. You go, Yao Ming's boner.
It's always that
and you're like,
moment.
can you guys sit down so I can talk about Yao Ming's boner?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's insane, man.
Listen, let's do one more. You ready?
Okay, yeah, let's do one more.
Because we got time for one more.
Okay,
Anthony DeVito, a lounge boy.
He's
got a one-man show. Are you going on the road? If people are listening now, they are coming to your show. Like if they're deep into this episode,
that's true.
This deep. We're
that's
depthy.
True. Come November 10th.
They're Yao Ming's dick.
They're coming with jerseys on. They're coming with Yao Ming jerseys on. Yeah, man. Come November 10th to Under St. Mark's at 7 p.m.
November 10th?
Yeah. Why?
November 10th. Go.
Oh, you're saying okay.
You didn't even say.
I thought it was like a problem.
No.
You said it was such like...
Under St. Mark's Theater. That is the first place I ever did stand-up comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Penny's open mic.
Oh my God,
right?
man!
Penny's open mic. It was every Tuesday.
Jesus Christ!
It was like this bohemian.
Yeah.
You could do anything on stage. Anything goes. And Penny was this like she was like a human dream catcher. Just like flowy clothes, long hair,
more
beautiful.
tapestry than person.
She was more. You couldn't have said it better. And I remember like Nimesh Patel, again a friend of a FOP, friend of the pod,
of course,
OKP.
Yeah.
Nimesh was like the king of that place for some reason. Like they loved so I used to go there every week because I was like, I want to go early. Yeah. Penny's open mic. You put your name into a bucket and they would pull names.
Yeah.
And you would think this is the most Bernie Sanders layer. Like everyone there, everyone's equal, whatever. And I was like, oh, good, I can drop my name in the bucket. Maybe I'll get to go third. Right. Maybe I'll get that hot spot on Penny's open mic. Come to find out, the whole thing was rigged.
Of course,
the whole thing was rigged. These are the people that would tell you we need fairness.
Of course.
That's so
funny.
Fooled. They rigged the thing. That was like, how does Nimesh get fifth spot every time?
It's so funny, and like, you know, where they don't see their doctrine spilling over in every area. It's like it kind of has to, right. Or else like this doesn't work, you know?
Right, because there were crazies that went.
Bro, I mean, God, that was my favorite.
The first time I ever went up there, they invite music, poetry, anything.
It's the best.
First time I ever went, it was my first time on stage. I'll never forget it. This guy got on stage and just screamed. He did 7 minutes of like, and people in the crowd were like, wow.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's saying it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Welcome to the Edinburgh Fringe.
Right. That was bringing you back to theater geeks.
But yeah, no, I remember and it still to this day remains my favorite piece of comedy I've ever seen. And it was at an Eastville mic. And it was just me and this guy. So at one point, I'm performer, he's audience.
Hold on. Explain to people. Eastville was a comedy club that used to be on the East Village.
4th Street and 2nd Ave.
4th Street and 2nd Ave. It's now called New York Comedy Club East Village.
Yeah.
Eastville is now in Brooklyn.
Yes.
They have a new location. But Anthony and I think we met really going to the Eastville open mic. It was at 5 o'clock. They had a 6 o'clock and an 8 o'clock every Monday night. And I used to get there early enough to post a list and write my name. I'd write Anthony's name on there. So we'd all get that hot spot. Once I realized how conservative. Once I realized all these fucking liberal creatives were actually fucking
secret capitalists.
Secret capitalists, just fucking animals
out for their own and their friends.
Right. I started playing the game a little bit more.
Yeah, you're like, I am this.
The Eastville open mic was so bad, and
it was atrocious.
It was just tough sledding.
Yeah,
there would be times, and what you just explained, I'll re-explain. But there would be times where literally be one person on stage who was a comedian. One person in the audience who's also a comedian, but now they have to be, and then
just flip roles.
Here you go, and then I'll go up. So you had that situation.
So I had that situation, and there was like, there were nights where it was like, okay, you couldn't sign everybody up. So it was like, so I was dead last.
Yeah.
So it was just me, and like, it was in the East Village. So it's like you just have whoever in the East Village wandering
crazies,
and if they could scrounge up $5, they can do this. So it was just me and him, and I do my jokes, whatever. He gets up, and I'm excited because I'm like, what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
He gets up there, and he gives you kind of this like, I guess like what you would want in like the look of this person. You know what I mean? Just like your average New York East Village street lunatic.
So he's got like long hair. He looks. He's very bohemian.
Yeah.
Would be the
bohemian, and like he's up there and he's just going off about NASA and the government, and it's 4 minutes long, and then at the end of it he goes, "That's why I didn't like the movie Armageddon," and it's to this day my favorite joke of all time.
You thought he was like complaining about like real world shit.
Real world, your typical street corner tinfoil hat crazy person angry about NASA and the government, and then the whole time he just saw Armageddon and he didn't like what they had done in the movie.
It was
so funny.
That's so funny.
And he didn't know he did that. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish
it was hilarious.
That was like your version of the what's the movie they made?
The Aristocrats.
The Aristocrats.
Yeah. Yes.
We should do a new Aristocrats 2. Yao Ming's penis.
Yeah. Oh, great. It'd be great. That's the first time I saw Yao Ming's boner.
Okay, ready? We'll do one more. Ready? Okay. I like this one. I've been wanting to write in for some time on this, but I've realized my disturbance is real and valid and is in need of some JTrain and guest input. Whenever I go to a wedding, whether it be friend or family, someone comes out of the woodwork in conversations before the event with this intense belief that they have to one-up me with how much fun they are on the dance floor and highlighting how much of a dancer they are. They'll ask me how much I'm looking forward to a wedding we're going to. I'll say so much. It'll be a great time. And they'll respond with, see you on the dance floor. And we dance so much. We are crazy. You have no idea. I'm crazy, etc., almost to an awkward degree. I will put anyone under the table with my dancing, FYI. So now they're doing it.
Yeah, now they're doing it. It's so funny.
Why do so many people, especially with family weddings, I've noticed, feel the need to completely mow over everyone with how much fun they're going to be? Love and appreciate the JTrain hustle. Hope to see you and your mama in Detroit. What do you think?
Well, because a wedding allows you to be the most fun version of yourself.
Right.
So everyone looks at themselves as like, oh, you don't know this, but I'm the most fun person in the world.
Yeah, you see me during normal hours.
Yeah. You don't
Wait till you see me when the lights come down, when Pitbull starts playing, because that is when I am truly the most me that you could. And as comics, we have ample opportunity to perform.
Right.
We are almost like, I don't need it.
It's over.
It's like
goes away.
It's drinking on the New Year's Eve.
Totally.
Like you go,
Yes.
I don't need to go out. If you're a drinker, you don't look at New Year's Eve and go, I gotta go drink.
Right.
If
you look at Tuesday afternoon.
Right. In the morning. Wake up for a beer. What
like
do I
Eggs
need New
Benedict could use a Budweiser.
Right.
Yeah.
What do I need New Year's for?
Yeah.
So there is an element of like these people, like we have it already.
Yes.
We are satiated when it comes to like needing the adoration of other people.
Right.
There are some people that don't have that ever in their life. And they're
Right.
like, I need someone to come up to me and tell me how great I did the electric slide.
Yep.
And it is annoying.
Yes.
I agree with this
Yeah.
person. I don't care. Show me. Don't tell me.
Yep.
I will let you know if you lit up the room.
Yeah.
But you might not.
Yeah.
And here's what they're doing. They're ruining it for themselves.
Right.
They have made it so they can't outdo whatever ghost that they've created.
Interesting. Yeah.
And it's really it's because it really they fuck themselves.
True.
And I think about it. This happens. You know what I hate the most? Wedding entrances.
Oh, sure. I'm over it, man.
There was one wedding I was invited to where they're like, I got an email as part of the wedding party that was like, and hey, here's the theme for the entrances. Feel free to bring whatever props and stuff you want. And I was like, there is no
Live
way.
gun. I only do one prop. Real rifle.
Everybody down!
Everybody down!
We're entering the dance floor. Tell me I'm the best dancer. Tell me I'm the life of the party.
But sorry, you were going somewhere. Where were you? Yeah, but I'm
was
with
like,
you.
what am
Where
I
you're
gonna
headed.
carry in a bunch of pom poms and a boa? Like, what do I do with this shit afterwards?
Yeah.
In what world? And literally, we got to the thing, and she was like, "Did everyone plan something?" I was like, and I looked at the woman that I was like matched up, and there's this weird thing of like especially when you're younger, you're matched with this person, and they're like, "We thought you two would fuck," and you're like, "No, we're not. I'm failing at this too."
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then you always like meet her for a second. You're like, oh, I hate her.
Right.
And you're like, oh,
why did they
no.
think of us for each other?
My hat? Oh no. Yeah.
I'm the male version of you in that group. Yeah.
It's just like I was thinking about like maybe like we like do like a Stewie impression
Right.
at the end of it, and you're like, oh
How did
boy,
we even do that?
how would we do it? They're like, well, stop the music.
There's one person that always is too into it.
Yeah, of course.
The entrances. And it's the same type of phylum group as this guy who wants to let you know they're good at dancing. And they go so hard on that entrance that you're like, oh, I don't even want to deal with this person the rest of the night.
Of course.
And sometimes they nail it. Sometimes it's okay. They do a jump. And it's usually someone who's athletic that played sports in college and is really looking to refeel what they once felt. And again, we are satiated by this podcast, by you guys responding and saying you had a fun time listening to us talk about Yao Ming's cock.
Yeah, and we get paid to do that.
Right.
You know what I
This
mean?
is- yeah.
So it's like to do that pro bono seems like a little like the wedding becomes a release. Like where it used to be before stand-up, you're like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to be really funny.
Right,
So I'm
right.
going to do something really funny.
Right.
Once you do that for a living, you're like, it's the last thing I want to do.
I wanna chill.
on planet Earth. And that's why you see so many like wedding videos where people like get hurt. You know? Because like they're trying so hard to prove to you
and they're not
how
training,
fun they are.
and they're not training every day for this. This is a one-off.
Yeah, you'll see people lit on fire because they just dance into fire. That's a real thing. Did you ever watch that video? Oh, dude, it's the best. I gotta send it to you.
Lit on fire?
It is a guy. It's so funny. It's like an old guy. He's in the South and he's just doing this like fun like kind of dance. He dances right into an open flame. He's on fire. He like doesn't notice. He like stamps out the fire with his coat. People around him are horrified.
Right.
He's the same face on the whole time. The same like Weekend at Bernie's, just kind of like kind of face. Dude, it's amazing.
And he probably did it to himself because he probably said to one of the cousins, "Wait till you see me on that dance floor."
Well,
and he's like, "I gotta really go for it."
Yes.
And now
you could see this guy, yes, but it's perfect combination of like he wanted to be that, and then he got so hammered that like
Never
that mindset came into how drunk he is now.
God.
So he didn't realize his surroundings, but he still had the "I'm the most fun guy in the world" mindset. It's like, remember that there was like an FBI agent or whatever, like this is going back like 4 or 5 years ago. I think he got shot. He shot himself with his own gun on the dance floor because he like did a flip and his gun went off. He like shot himself, and you're like, yeah, man, you can't be an FBI agent and then also decide like
to do
you're also going to see that I'm the most fun guy. I can do a flip.
Right. Put on the safety.
Right.
Like put it aside.
Yeah.
And
it's not your day.
some people need it.
Yeah,
Some people need it. Anthony, thank you for coming along.
Of course, man. Always. The
Everyone go
best.
follow Anthony at Anthony DeVito _ampersand.
And
Tilde.
a comedian Anthony DeVito on Instagram. That's the
At
main thing.
comedian
Follow
and-
me. It's a normal thing. At comedian. I know.
What was it? Your Twitter handle? You
My
and
Twitter
Greg?
handle forever has been Anthony DeVito _.
That's what
And
it
it's
was.
a nightmare. And I just never thought, now we are like, I just never thought any of these things would take off. That's why my
Right.
email address is devofortivo
Why
at
you got your
gmail.com.
email?
What do I care? I don't care, man. I have nothing. I have nothing going on to not give away my email
comedian
address.
Anthony DeVito.
Yeah.
Go follow.
And email me.
The
at
other Anthony
devo4tivo at gmail.com.
I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. Keep sending your emails, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back next episode. Boom.